so. Hey, everyone. Hey, it's Andrea Vahl, and I am here with Jennie Stoll. And am I just want to make sure. I always like panic when I have to pronounce someone's name. Like, there's nothing. Yeah, right. It's because I with being a short name like Vahl, a lot people pronounce that all wrong all the time. So I'm never like assuming what I'm pronouncing is correct. So we were just having a great conversation about some of the ways she's kind of zigged and zagged through her business, and I'm excited to dive into some of that with you. And these are our agency interviews. Ad agency interviews where we're just talking to people who have started businesses, who have grown their business, how are they running their business, and what are some of the benefits. So Jennie, why don't you just tell us a little bit about how you got started and where, what you started out doing. And I know we were just talking about, we don't know what we want to be when we grow up, but
So for several years, a number of years, I worked in pharmaceutical research in the data piece of it, and I loved it. I've loved data, really worked in data since 1998 when I graduated from college. And those zigs and zags happen. And I am a mama to two girls they were both born incredibly early, 24 and 25 weeks.
Wow.
They are now 22 and 17. My younger one has a long, complicated history. We spend a lot of time at our children's hospital. And I knew even years ago, in the midst of all this, I needed to find something that would flex with me when I needed to flex.
Yeah.
And then in 2014, then I began having some health issues that eventually led to 2 neurosurgeries out of state, one of which was a brain and spine surgery. And during that medical leave, my job was gracious. They held it for me for 18 months, but I wasn't healed enough to go back. And so I just began investigating, and I wasn't in a huge hurry at that time. And so stumbled upon social media management and really liked all of the analytics behind, like, the platforms and what you could tease out of it and help people, post better, do better, and then do better in their business. And then discovered Andrea's Facebook ads course and was even more thrilled because there was more data.
More data. Woo!
Yeah. Right? And I could combine like research and data and all of these things. So then probably, I think as we talked, it's been about 6 months that I've gotten really serious about this and really working to move my business forward.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I love how you were talking about how flexible it can be, because, you were saying that amidst all the health challenges and appointments and things like that, you can do this job from your phone.
I can.
It's awesome.
It is. It's super easy. I mean, there's apps for so much stuff. I can, if I'm going to do a video, I can sit and write notes on a script I want to use.
Right.
Or I can edit video. I mean, I can do pretty much everything from my phone. The only thing that I really don't do is calls.
Yeah.
That gets a little tricky and it's busy. But other than that, I can. And in lieu of a call, we can message back and forth. And usually that's even easier because then we both have something to refer back to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's great. And that's perfect too. So tell us a little bit. So your business is the data, wait, I'm sorry, I totally lost it. I have too many, the data guided decisions. Yeah. So that's your business. So tell us a little bit about how you serve your clients and what kinds of things do you help them do with the data guided decisions, especially with Facebook ads too?
So I typically work with a business that's itself is well established. They may not be well established in ads yet, but every business is a unique approach, especially if they do have some Facebook ads that are running, and they may not be as successful as they had hoped, but they're not performing terribly.
Right.
So instead of going in and saying, we're going to start all of this over.
Right.
I go in and say, hey, look, let's look at your campaigns, but let's drill down through it to your ad sets and your ads, because overall the campaign may not have performed well, but you may have an ad in there that really did. Yeah. And so those are the things we want to pull out. And I say, let's if you're agreeable, let's leave those running right now and just keep generating some leads for you. But let's dig into some of this other data and some research and say, this is your target audience. These are the things they're looking for.
Right.
At the ads that performed not so well, did we address those things? And if we
Right.
did, is it an image? Is it more of a messaging issue? But really fleshing out how to improve on that and make it better.
Yeah.
And so I don't take a cookie cutter approach and say, this is where we start, this is where we end. I really want to get to know the business and get a feeling for their mission and their passion so that I can help them demonstrate that to their audience.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that because that is definitely something that happens. People just shut everything down and they don't like find those hidden gems of what is actually working. And sometimes it takes like looking at the breakdown reports or looking at the segments of audiences or looking at just that one, drilling into those reports in a whole different way that can pull out those gems. And then the client can be profitable and you can, iterate and make that better. That's awesome. I love that. Now I have to go back to the questions on what we were going to ask. I'm like popping around here. I need 4 monitors, I think is really what. And so do you have a specialty? I know you came from like kind of the, kind of a medical, like sort of background, but do you have a specialty that you look for when you look for clients? Like what's.
So it's not so much specialty. It's that I feel like my clients thrive with working with me if they are established and we have some things to improve on. That's where I like to help people is, you
got something that's working,
yes. And again, it may not be, it's not working well. That's why they're coming to me, or they don't, it's not in their realm of expertise, and they would much rather be doing what they set out to do in their business than managing Facebook ads.
Right.
I love to be able to take that from them, but still work with them and then create something amazing that we can continue to duplicate and help them scale that business.
Yeah. That is great. That is great. So what I know we kind of talked about what you love about working for yourself is just really the flexibility and stuff like that, the ability to be there. But what are you, I know it's early in this phase of your business, and that's kind of what we were talking about is like talking about someone who's starting something new. And I love that you're starting something new midstream when you've got older kids too. It's just like, we can start whenever we want. We can start something new. And what is something that you're most proud of so far in your experience in your business?
So I'm actually super proud of this live. Because, after leading up to and even after this brain surgery, there are just times where my brain just kind of shuts down for a minute and I will totally lose track of what we've talked about. And it's really embarrassing, especially if you're doing a live video and you can't edit these pieces out or you're on a video call with someone. It's very frustrating, but I've learned to laugh at it. And then when I say, hey, look, I had brain surgery, just give me a minute, it'll all come back to me. And then I think it also lets everyone know that you're real behind this screen, that everyone stumbles, but it doesn't have to be the obstacle that stops you. You can get over it and move on. And that's one thing, especially over the last few weeks, I've had to force myself to do more video and to do some live video. And it's been tough, but it's been very rewarding. And then especially for like my younger daughter, she sees me stepping out of this comfort zone that I've had all these years. And she has a trach, so her voice is very different. And a lot of times when she's in new situations, she'll whisper, or she knows sign language too, or she'll just sign and try to communicate with me to be like her interpreter. And so it's also given her that push of get out of your comfort zone, do this, and come along on the ride with me, Hannah, because I'm having her help in some aspects of my business with some of the media stuff.
I love that. And I'm actually getting a little choked up because like I'm like, oh my goodness. I think that when our children see us really doing something outside of our comfort zone,
Right.
we don't, when you're young, you're doing all the crazy things because you got to do them. And, to show them that it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to switch and learn something totally new. You don't have to do the same thing forever, and you can learn and you can grow and you can, make mistakes.
Yeah.
So I love that. And here, Melissa's saying some such nice things. You don't have to be the obstacle that stops you. I love that. Oh, guys, I'm getting totally choked up because that is part of my big mission, is just to be like, you know what, we can do whatever we want, and it's an inspiration to our children
It
to
is.
see us going for things that we want to do.
Right.
So love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what are one or two tips that you have you gave us some tips about data and for sure, but like, what are some tips you have about working with clients, or it could be another Facebook ads tip, like a hidden gem there for a Facebook ads tip?
So it is kind of data geeky. I had worked with a gal that she had this ideal client in mind, and some age range and other demographic stuff. And then when I looked at her social media analytics, she was missing an entire age range that was interacting with her on her social media.
Yeah.
Very interested in what she was doing. And so I just went back to her and said, hey, I think you have a great opportunity here to rethink that ideal client and perhaps include this expanded age range, because you're getting great interaction from them on your social media.
Awesome.
And that's likely to translate over if you change some of your targeting to include that. You may see some better conversions. And so that's one thing that I really encourage people to do, is don't go by what you think.
Exactly.
When you can, go by what you know. And if you don't have the data in your social media to really back anything up yet, you're a newer business. So do some market research and look and see who is looking for you, age groups, interests, locations, whatever you can find. And then use that to help you guide some of your ideal client thinking, as well as translating it over into your Facebook ad setup.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I think that for sure, using your data to guide you is that's huge. I am always like, the numbers tell a story here, and we got to believe the numbers.
Right.
The other thing you can do to expedite, that market research is really use ads to help you make those data informed decisions right there. So great.
Just, spending some time doing some testing as well. Then you were working from your own data, which is even better for your business when you're working from your own versus some stuff that you've pulled from the market.
Yeah, that's great. And Melissa says no crying. We're talking about data now, so we're out of the emotional stuff now. We got back to data. Whew. So one more question about gosh, this time's flying. Now you joined Facebook Advertising Secrets about a year ago, you were saying, I think. And I think that's right. And you've been a great active member of the group and bringing in questions, which is awesome. What is something that you have found valuable about the course?
So, especially when you're new, and you've gotten your first clients, there's always this push, well, for me anyway, that I want things to be perfect for them. I want their experience with me to be flawless.
Yeah.
And so as I'm setting some things up, if I'm tossing it back and forth between this target or that target, or, if we're going to optimize for conversions or whatever, I'll go into the group and say, hey, this is what we intend to do. This is what we'd like to do. What do you guys think about this or that? What's been your experience? And so it gives me a broader experience to draw from than just my own knowledge of the ads that I've run.
Yeah.
in the businesses that I've worked with.
Yeah.
It just gives you that broader knowledge base. And I think that is so beneficial, especially if you're newer, to have that to be able to go back to. And
Yeah.
know you have this sounding board that's there. And your response time is unbelievable in that group, for as busy as I can only imagine you are. And then but other members as well, they're very knowledgeable as well. So it's really just a great environment.
Yeah.
For honestly any stage that you're in with Facebook ads, whether you're beginner to advanced, it's just a great environment.
Yeah, I love, love, love our Facebook group. It's so much lifting people up, so much, there's no judgment. You can ask, there's always people
Right.
going in there. Oh, this might be a stupid question. I'm like, no, there's no stupid questions. And then it ends up being a really hard question, I'm like, oh, that's not a stupid question. But, yeah, I love the group. It's a wonderful place filled with people, and I'm glad to have you in it too. So, and thanks for all of your participation there too. And it's definitely a great place, I think, for sure, when you are new or even dealing with a, different situation than you've dealt with before. You've got a team, you've got a whole group of people that has your back. So that is awesome. So awesome. So tell us where people can find you. I'm going to post the links in the chat. I've got them pulled up here, and tell us, just make sure we can get connected to you.
Okay. You can find me at dataguided.co, or I've got a business Facebook page, and then I've started a small group. It's called Data Geeks of all things. But it's all things data, but it's really a place for all of us to learn as well, because my members bring in some great things as well, with their knowledge base for whatever their business is. So it's just a place to learn and share.
Right. That's awesome. I'm just posting the links here in the comments. I love that. So, great. Well, this has been totally awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for making time and making me cry. And and I just love everything you're doing and the example you're leading for your family, and how you're building your business. So awesome.
Thank
so
you
great.
for all you do. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.